Welcome to Disney Odd Pod.
I'm Kat.
I'm Dee.
And this week, we enter the realm of over-stylized settings and over-the-top everything, including Morgan Freeman as a somewhat Willy Wonka-esque character, but not really, but yes, he's very much like Willy Wonka.
He's the mechanical Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
Nutcracker, Four Realms, from 2018.
Your mother was the cleverest inventor I ever knew. And there was never any doubt when I asked what her greatest creation was. The future of the realms lies with you. Be careful who you trust.
Why isn't this called Clara in the Four... Why is it called Nutcracker in the Four Realms? He's like a side character.
Because they wanted it to be off the Nutcracker.
They didn't even play that song.
Yeah, they did.
When did they play that song?
Sometime early on.
Okay, I don't remember them playing that song.
Or why can't they just call this, like, the other Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, part 2?
Except for it's, like, way shittier than Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
But it's just a complete rip-off of Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Instead of the siblings coming in, it's just her selfish-ass bitch being in there by herself.
Spoiler alert. There's a note here. Where is it? Oh, she's entered Narnia.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was exactly that. Oh, but you're not going to go get your brother and sister. Oh. Okay.
I mean, I was kind of into the movie until she entered the castle and met the other realm leaders. I was even into it when she met the Nutcracker and went into the fourth realm. I was still kind of into it. And then as soon as we were introduced to the other realm leaders, I was like, oh, that's what's going to happen. Okay, yeah, that character is doing this.
It was really obvious what was going to happen. Really obvious. The only question was, were the other two realm leaders going to be involved?
Correct.
Or were they going to get double-crossed? But otherwise, it was clear. And the terrible job by Kieraknightley in this entire movie.
Okay.
She was annoying.
Your mother created our world. The ginger wants to rule the realms.
Let me just tell you, if they wanted to go for that vibe, you know who they should have cast in that part? Megan Mullally.
Oh yeah, she'd have been great.
She would have been excellent in that part.
And she could have been sugar and then spice.
It would have given them the vibe they were looking for.
Yeah, that would have actually been really nice. I didn't even think about that.
Because they altered her voice. It wasn't her voice.
I guess, yeah.
No, it was a weird casting
But she was
choice.
terrible and annoying. Like, every time she was on screen, I was bothered and bumped, kind of. I was just like, ugh.
This movie had a lot of issues.
Itchy shoes.
It was really bad.
It was bad, but it wasn't epically bad. It wasn't like a Santa Claus kind of bad, but it was just... It's just, what?
I was annoyed that it was so predictable. Like
it really was pretty predictable.
And a lot of the dialogue was very tropey and very poorly written.
Whose dialogue was terrible was Philip's dialogue. Because he's the Nutcracker.
Oh,
that kid can't act. This is the only movie he's ever been in. He's just, it's clear that he's not an actor. It's like, what the fuck? Who the fuck? How the fuck did you get in this movie?
You're in the Christmas tree forest. But that is the fourth realm, which is currently at war with the other three realms.
Yeah, but it's, okay, I'll just say I was going to save it till it came up, but part of the problem with this dialogue is they use people's names repeatedly to an excess. And when you're talking with someone in normal dialogue, I don't go, oh, D, blah, 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 D, blah, 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 D.
Cat. Hey, Cat.
You don't talk to people that way. And it was very, like, you say it, like, establish the person's name, but they just kept going, and it was bad.
Da-da-da. You know what it is? You know where you use that kind of language is in plays.
Yeah.
So that you know who you're talking to or about. But this isn't a play, it's a movie.
Right. And it had a lot of problems. I could see what they were trying to do, but it had a lot of problems. Okay. Nutcracker and the Four Realms from 2018. Family, fantasy, action, adventure. From Disney, the studio that brought you Beauty and the Beast, comes the reimagined tale of the Nutcracker. When Clara's mother leaves her a mysterious gift, she embarks on a journey to four secret realms, where she discovers her greatest strength could change the world.
The strength of throwing a tantrum.
It was inside you all along.
Yeah.
Anyway, spoiler alert, that is the worst part of this whole thing. Okay. So,
I would say it's tied with the worst part of the whole thing.
yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah.
And, okay, so the two directors they had for this movie, their repertoire, or, like, back catalog or whatever, is really diverse.
And epic. This is the first time we've had real directors direct a Disney movie, maybe?
Because you have Lassie Hallstrom and Joe Johnston, and Lassie did What's Eating Gilbert Grape, and just gotta say, Chocolat is one of my favorite movies.
Chocolat.
And those are both great. And he did a ton of ABBA music videos, which is weird.
Yeah, it is really weird.
But he has a bunch of other stuff too. But he was a really good director.
Yeah, and Joe Johnson did things like Jumanji, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
I love Jumanji.
So we'll be seeing that again. Captain America First Edition, or whatever that movie is.
Jumanji's not a Disney movie.
I know.
And I'm so sad. I love Jumanji.
I never really. I mean, I watched most of it, but like,
It's so good. We should watch it.
no, I don't want. I definitely don't want to watch
It's
it.
so good. But they're both, like, they have a lot of movies. And and Joe Johnston, actually, one other movie that he directed, it's a kid's movie. It's called The Page Master with Macaulay Culkin. And it's another studio. But it's a very good kid's movie. And so I just was confused as to how they came up with this.
Well, the funny thing is that the Johnson guy only took over at the end because the other guy had to go do something. And then it was for like 32 days. And then the other guy came back and finished it.
So this is mostly Lassie Hallstrom's thing, which maybe he just...
But maybe mixing visions didn't help this.
Probably not.
Yeah,
no.
I could see that as being a problem.
But the main writer is Ashley Powell, and this is pretty much...
That's it. That's all she's done.
And
she shouldn't do anything else.
No, because everything is so telegraphed. The dialogue is horrible.
She was like, I just read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I should write my own fantasy book.
Ugh, God. That was my exact sentiment. The entire movie was, I see what you're trying to do, but you're failing.
Yeah,
you're like, it's just not good. So as far as actors...
We got our Clara, Mackenziefoy.
Also known as Renesmee from Twilight. She's Edward and Bella's baby in Twilight.
Really?
Well, but she's like a young, like, she grows fast. She's their child.
That's
in the third and fourth movie, she's their... Really, just the fourth movie, she's their child. That was where she got her start.
And we dodged a bullet because the Black Beauty movie ended up coming out on disneyplus.
Oof.
Because that had Kate Winslet and her. You know that was destined for theaters.
If it's Kate Winslet, it was probably good. I like Black Beauty.
But she was I looked. Kate Winslet was the voice of Black Beauty.
Black Beauty's a dude.
Kate Winslet was the voice of Black Beauty.
Okay. I have a problem with that. Okay, so funny story. Black Beauty, when I was a kid, I think I was like 5, maybe 4. It came out in theaters, the one from the 90s or whatever.
Sure.
I went to the theater with my mom, and I was very upset. Because there's a part where there's a fire and a bunch of horses die. And I was like jumping up and down in the movie because I was really little. And apparently when all the horses died, I like jumped in my mom's lap and I was like, Mom, this is a very sad movie. I was like mad at my mom for taking me to Black Beauty because I was upset that the horses died. Anyways.
It's fair, dog. And then Kieraknightley as the worst person in the world.
It's a weird casting choice. Like I don't understand why they picked her. There's a million other people.
Worst person in the world.
What?
She's the worst.
Oh, she's the worst.
She's the worst. She's the worst person in the world. Huge, skank, terrible.
She really is, because she's just...
I don't even like her in Pirates of the Caribbean, I just don't like her.
I mean, I don't really care for her either, but she does well in, like, her segment is, like, the historical romance.
The Pride and Prejudice action.
She's good in Pride and Prejudice, and she's good in Atonement, and these kind of historical romance movies. She's very good in that segment.
I could see that.
But she's really bad in this.
She's really bad. Oof.
Your mother abandoned us. And then she just expects us to carry on and play nice. Well, I don't want to play nice!
Also, Morgan Freeman as, like, the godfather.
I like Morgan Freeman in this. This is the best part of the movie.
He's great. But he doesn't get enough screen time. I thought he was gonna, like, be the owl, and he was gonna, like, show up.
He should have been in the other world, and he should have shown up.
Like, I don't...
There's about 8 times that he could have calmed that other bitch the fuck down and told her to stop throwing a fucking tantrum and backhanded her, and it would have been a better movie.
I mean, I didn't understand. Did he create this world? But yet her mom created it, but he left the thing for her? I don't know.
I feel like he created the bones of the world, and the mom filled them in.
I don't know. I think they should have made the movie based around the mom, but whatever, it's fine. And I couldn't figure out who Mother Ginger was, but it was Helen Mirren.
And what a terrible performance yet again.
Helen Mirren, to me, is like... Her and Judi Dench are, like, the same person to me.
Like the legendary
Yeah, they're like,
people.
okay, they're both British. They're both old. They're both, like... no, they're just, like, the same person to me. They're
and
just...
her performance in this was... Boo.
It was really bad. It was... I feel like... I don't know, it was not good.
They could have gotten a better redhead to play this ginger lady.
Correct, sir.
I mean, honestly, they could have picked, like, Helena Bonham Carter. She probably would have been more in the vibe of what they were looking for. They could have picked, like, Nicole Kidman would have been a better choice, I feel like, for this part.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, either of those would work.
An unknown.
Yeah.
Just somebody else, I think, would have been...
And then we had Philip, who is Jaden Fowler Knight, and he's not even an actor.
No, he's not. He's not in anything. Yeah. And I felt like I had seen the dad before.
I did too, but I didn't recognize him from anything.
Well, I've seen him because it's Matthew McFadden, and he's in Pride and Prejudice. He plays Mr. Darcy.
Okay, that is where I recognize him
in Pride
from.
and Prejudice. But he's also apparently a recurring character in Succession, which is a show I haven't watched.
Mr. Darcy.
But yeah. And then just one last one, because it was driving me crazy, and then I was like, oh my god, that makes sense. The one guard... that was like kind of like the 2 dingus guards.
Yeah.
The one was Jack Whitehall, which is our guy from Jungle Cruise.
Oh, if we known you were coming, we would have rolled out the red carpet. Booked the trumpeteers. Captain Hoffman has arrived.
The brother from Jungle Cruise.
Oh, the taller one.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Because I was like, God, that guy looks so familiar. Who is that? Oh, it's that guy from Jungle Cruise. Okay, got it.
The gay brother from Jungle Cruise.
Yep.
Alrighty then.
Did you get any fun facts?
Oh. Nah, I mean, the story was supposed to take place in Germany, but for some reason they moved it to England and made them all British.
But without explanation?
Well, the story of the Nutcracker is supposed to be
a
German story, but they just decided that they were going to make it a British story.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay.
Would have been better the other way.
Apparently Helen Mirren had to take whip cracking lessons for that end fight scene so she could seem believable in that part.
That's so fun.
Such a fun fact.
This is Morgan Freeman's only Disney movie.
Unanswerable questions. Why did he agree to do this? I'm sure they approached him about other parts. Why did he agree to do this? I don't know.
He's senile.
Do you have any other ones?
No.
I have 2 other ones. So this film was released a month before Thanksgiving, even though it's a, quote, Christmas movie.
Yeah, that's a big mistake.
Well, they're citing that as the reason this movie failed.
No, this movie sucked.
Right. And last one, apparently Jack Whitehall has a history of publicly stating his love for Disney and desire to be cast in any film they want him in. So that's why he was in this movie in that tiny part. Which I thought was kind of fun.
Yeah, that is kind of fun. I didn't see that one. Okay. So, are we gonna...
Cracker?
Crack on!
Are we gonna... Are we gonna follow a gold string through this movie?
I guess.
Are we gonna unlock the key? March is probably, I guess, I don't know.
Because this movie's just disjointed and weird.
It doesn't really have one.
So, the movie opens with a Rube Goldberg device mousetrap.
That's what I wrote.
Yeah, of course. With Miss Clara and her baby brother
Fritz.
See, yeah, fucking German name. Stahlbaum is their last name. And it would have been better if it would have been German. They would have been like, Das Gutmann. It would have been a lot cooler, actually.
It would have been way cooler.
Yeah.
And also, okay, the dad.
You know, let me just throw this in. Christmas being a huge fucking deal also makes more sense in Germany than it does in Britain.
I mean, it's a big deal in
Britain.
Britain.
It's a big deal in Britain, but it's a
different.
really fucking big deal in Germany.
It just hits differently in Germany.
I mean, they have the famous Christmas markets, for Christ's sake.
Don't talk about it. I want to go so bad. Okay, so then they go downstairs and they're like decorating the Christmas tree, and everyone gets super serious. They're like, "Don't talk about Mother Fritz. Fuck you."
Yeah.
Like, okay, but then
because their mother apparently just died.
Okay, so I feel like she committed suicide. Because everyone's like, she left us. She left us. She left us.
I thought that maybe she had like cancer or something. And
I think she committed suicide.
I think it was the double-barreled shotgun of I have a terminal disease and I'm going to take myself out.
I'm just saying, because when they had that weird flashback scene, she was like all sad, like she knew she was going to fucking die. And I was like,
that's what I mean. I think she had like cancer or something. Like, she knew she was dying at this point, and she was just planning it out.
Okay, so maybe she didn't commit suicide.
Yeah, because, I mean, it wouldn't have made sense for her to have, like, all these gifts laid out for Christmas. Like,
yeah, fair enough.
You know.
Dead mom presents, she gives them all presents, and... Okay, this is where initially I was, oh my god. Because Clara, and I kept wanting to call her Lucy, because I was thinking about Lucy from Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, because they kind of look alike.
Lucy!
But she gives her this, like, Fabergé egg. Why would Mother give me this gift? And I'm like, oh, I wonder, why would Mother give you this gift? Oh, is this gonna be the plot? Oh my god.
Oh, it's because you like to fix stuff and fuck with things?
It just was so, like, just not well.
I don't get it. Why didn't she give me her favorite coat or a soldier?
Yeah, it was just like, ooh, mystery. It's an eye roll. And
then Claire doesn't want to she doesn't want to enjoy Christmas, and she's just being a total bitch to her dad.
Her dad's voice is super annoying, though, by the way. He's just like, he's so serious. Like, he's just...
Children, I have some presents for you.
But it's not Christmas Day.
They're from your mother. She asked me to give them to you on Christmas Eve.
I don't know, something about his voice I didn't
Something
like.
about a dance with me.
You must dance with me.
Yeah.
It's not creepy at all.
You are my child bride. I am your father groom. I'll give you everything. You just can't leave your room.
I mean, you got that vibe too, right?
I did get
weird.
that vibe.
And like,
highly.
Why is Clara so special? Like, her mom is basically like, "Oh, fuck you, older sister. You're like, what?
Wait, is Clara the older sister?
No, Clara's like the middle child.
Yeah. The older sister is a total basic bitch. Like, she's like, "Oh, I got the coat, awesome."
Yeah, she got the dress, and she was all excited. So they go to this, like, crazy Christmas Eve party, and she's like, she discovers that on the egg is, like, the initial of her godfather. Dusseldorf.
No, it's not Dusseldorf, that's the town. Dusselmeyer.
Oh, might as well be Dusseldorf. I'm gonna just call him Dusseldorf.
Yeah.
And she goes down in the secret room and tracks him down. He pretends that he's having a problem with this, like, machine thing so that he can watch her fix it or whatever. Because apparently her mom was some orphan that he took in.
And, like, some mechanical genius as well.
Yeah.
And she's also a mechanical genius.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I like that. That's a nice plot point. Like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Maybe make it a bigger point of the plot.
I mean, like I said, I was into it at this point.
It still wasn't that bad at this point.
And then I really had high hopes because they go into this sequence where he's giving all the children Christmas presents.
This is one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
This is fucking awesome.
Like, they should do this in real life.
Because he essentially has every child's name on this string.
That's tied to the Christmas tree in the center.
Yeah, and it goes on this crazy maze. So they
all throughout the house, so that everybody's present in the yard. So everybody's presents are totally scattered, but you've got to follow your little string wherever it goes, and it's really cool.
I was into it.
I wonder if they do that in Germany. Really? Sorry. Really? During a podcast.
I had to chew.
Apparently.
But I was into it. I was like, oh, maybe. And I was getting Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe vibes, but before she even went into the forest.
No, to me, I wasn't really thinking that until she comes up towards the end and you see that little portal, and I was like, oh no.
Yep.
No.
No! God, please, no! No!
I was actually hoping this was going to be a more serious movie at this point.
Yeah, because...
And they just went the other way completely. I was like, oh, shit, this is going to suck.
Yep, and I said, and she's entered Narnia. Oh, wait, that's that other movie. Because literally in Narnia, Lucy goes through the wardrobe into a snowy forest.
Yeah, it's the same shit.
It's the same fucking thing.
And instead of a billy goat, she runs into a mouse.
But Narnia does it better.
Yeah, well, of course.
Well, the string leads to a key, which is the key to her little...
But the mouse immediately steals the key. I mean,
right.
That's what I mean. She runs right into a mouse that she was just trying to trap.
Is it the same mouse?
Who knows? Who cares?
I don't know.
It's not Mouse Rink.
Mouserinks? Is that the guy's name?
Well, it's Mouse Rink.
Which I totally thought he was going to, like, turn into a person or something.
But if you were Philip, it's Mouser Rink. He kept saying Mouser Rink. Wow. Which was horrible because the guy can't act.
I thought that was the mouse's name because of the way he was saying it.
Mouse Rink.
Oh,
not Mouser Rink.
Mouser Rink.
Mouser Rink. Everybody calls it. It's just, I was just so
And so I'm still into it at this point. I'm still into the movie. I still have faith.
No, this is right where I was like, oh no.
No. I'm still into it. And then she goes and the mouse runs across this icy river, and then she sees this bridge, but there's this guy, this Nutcracker. Apparently he's the only Nutcracker left in the Four Realms. Okay? Right? And he's like, no, you can't cross the bridge.
Into the Fourth Realm.
Yeah, because the Fourth Realm is apparently at war with all the other realms, and you're like, oh my god, that sounds scary.
The natural ginger will kill you.
And then she says what her name is, and he's like, oh my god, you're princess. And I'm like, okay, here we go. Okay.
Here we go.
And then she's like, I command you to let me go across. And he's like, okay, fine.
You know what this also has a little bit of vibe of at this point as well is Peter Pan 2.
The Neverland one?
The Neverland one, yeah. It's a little Neverland vibes-ish at this point. Oh, wait. We're just like, this is like a repeat, but the original?
Yeah.
It's still a repeat? Like, we should have had Wendy first?
A little bit.
Should have had Marie first?
It is a little bit. And
you know, it really feels like a sequel, almost.
Yeah.
It's actually a solid point that I didn't think of until right now.
Yeah.
This whole movie feels like a sequel.
It should have been about her mom.
Yeah.
And like her mom going back and forth and like...
Or her mom creating the whole universe and whatever, yeah. Ooh, it feels like a sequel. That's terrible.
Oh, it feels like a sequel. So they go across and then they end up, and this part I think I audibly said gross.
Yes,
because
I did too.
They run into this mouse and then all of a sudden the mouse turns into like 500 mice and it turns into like a giant human...
It's like a mouse golem.
And it grabs her and it is the most disgusting thing.
Taking her away. And somehow he slices through the mouse golem and takes her back away and they run away.
It's disgusting.
Run away.
It's like a giant human made of individual mice. It's really gross.
And Mother Ginger calls after them like, Miss Clara, I have the key for you. And they're like, fuck you, bitch.
And you know, she could have said something like, your mom wanted you to see me. Or
I'm trying to help you. The other ones are evil.
Yeah, you know, she could have just thrown that out there now. But no, of course not. Why would you do that? That would be smart.
Yeah.
And,
don't believe the sugar plum bitch.
She's not so sweet. So then when he's taking Clara to the palace, and I said, I feel like this is just a ripoff of Narnia. Because that's what I was feeling. And in the next scene, we meet Sugar Plum and the other leaders, and I said, so this is all fake, and Sugar Plum is actually evil, ? It was, and I don't even know exactly what gave it away, but...
It was just kind of clear. Her face looked like devilish the whole time. She had just this kind of like slightly evil look all the time.
It just didn't really add up.
Right.
Like, why would this other realm decide to rebel against you guys?
And that's why I wasn't sure if the other two were involved or what. That was the only question. Like I said, at this point, the only question mark was, are Shivers and Flowers involved or not?
Shivers and Flowers.
That was their name.
Was it Shivers and Flowers?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like icicles or...
No, Shivers and Flowers.
The land of flowers and the land
No,
of
the guy is
ice.
the guy. The guy
Okay.
is Shivers and the other guy is Flowers. And she's Sugar Plum.
Original.
Yeah, Marie was a mechanical genius, but not great with the names.
This is fluffy. Really? Okay.
Or what about Miss Ginger with her red hair? It's like, okay, come on. That's
Like,
as good as you can do.
Why is she called...
This is shockingly good.
Is it?
Yeah, especially for one that's not like dark, not a lot of smoke to it. You're not gonna like it, but gummy bears.
It smells kind of like piss on a gym sock.
Yeah, it's boat whiskey.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
It's not...
Like, you can't not like that for drinking it straight. Like, pretty good straight drinking booze.
Okay. Okay, so then Sugar Plum gives Clara makeover, essentially, to make her fit in with everybody.
A glow up!
Yeah, and I was annoyed. They could have done like a makeover scene with a cool montage.
Right, okay. Just the, like, was stupid.
It was dumb.
Yeah.
Like, you literally could have done like a...
I was like, what just happened?
Like a Princess Diaries-esque, like, let's do a makeover.
Would have made more sense.
It would have been more fun.
Yeah.
And it would have kind of maybe thrown you off the Sugar Plums, the bad guy trail a little bit. I don't know, it could have been better.
Right.
Then there's like a weird ballet recital scene.
Oh, this part
I know.
is where it got super brutal.
I know.
Oh my God.
I looked over, I was like, oh boy.
This is when I started looking up a popcorn recipe on my phone. I was like, oh boy, I'm going to need some popcorn to make it through the rest of this movie.
Okay, I will say, they were trying to tie in the ballet aspect of Nutcracker.
Of course, which is absolutely no point of doing that. But they sure tried, and this is where the doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, it was in this little scene.
Okay, but I feel like they could have done this better. Like, they could have, if they wanted to incorporate the ballet thing, it could have been like at the Christmas party or like...
It could have been in chunks and pieces.
Right, but this was a long segment.
It was very long. It was terrible.
And I feel like they could have done little nods, little pieces of it.
Right. It would have been better. Because this was also... It was a mix of the ballet and our tour of the other lands.
Right.
Like, where they showed us each of the lands and like, oh.
Yeah, grand tour.
Yeah.
And then we go to some weird engine room. And she's like, oh, your mother gave us life.
But we need the key to keep making the army.
Oh, wow, you don't say.
Really, you're really militant about all this. You're not trying to do anything weird, are you?
Yeah, and this is where I really did. And see, I feel like Megan Mullally would have been a good choice for Sugar Plum. Because the way she was doing her voice, that's like how Megan Mullally talks.
Yeah.
Like, that's her normal voice.
Well, and Megan Mullally would have been better at being super sweet and then super evil.
Right, and that's
you could have thrown the switch, and it would have been really cool.
And that's what Kieraknightley just doesn't. She's just not a very good actress.
She could have become Tammy.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Or even the lady who plays other Tammy in Parks and Rec. What is that lady's name?
Oh shit!
His like first wife or whatever.
Oh yeah. Because
she's also
she would be really good at that. Yeah, I can't remember her name. Like I'm drawing a full blank.
She's also in this really weird movie
she's really good at being sweet. She's also the one in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, right? She's
Patricia Clarkson.
Oh no, that's not what I was saying.
No. I'm thinking
Show me
this lady.
Oh yeah. Okay.
She's also in this weird movie from the 90s with Sarah Michelle Gellar called Simply Irresistible, and she plays like an assistant. But she would have been a better choice. And I don't know. That was a really bad.
It was a bad choice. It was a real bad choice.
And then we get a flashback to Christmas, which I did actually like this part.
Okay, this part we should have got this part before she went to fucking Narnia.
Like, it should have been...
It would have been like, oh, she already told you this was going to happen.
Like, what should have happened is when she had, at the beginning of the movie, when she was, oh, the tree doesn't look like Mother's tree, fuck you, Dad. She should have gone up to the tree and seen the Nutcracker ornament, and then had the flashback of putting the Nutcracker on the tree.
Of what happened literally 1 year before. That said, like, hey, you're going to go to this land that I invented to, you stupid bitch.
It just... But it was a good scene. Like, I did enjoy this scene.
There should have been a lot more of this. A lot more Mon. Well, there should have been a movie before. I didn't have this at the beginning, like I said, because it just came to me a few minutes ago that this is a sequel. The first movie would have probably been really good.
About her mom.
Yeah. Would have been great. Probably.
Like,
they should still make the first movie.
Like, somehow inventing this whole world.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You could recast Mackenzie Fox.
Foy.
Foy, yeah. Oh, my handwriting's so bad.
Doctor. And, okay, this is where, honestly, the next day when she gets up and to go to the forest was really where I was like, oh, this is bad. Because she comes out wearing the most ridiculous outfit I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, why does she not have a sword?
Why does she have clothes that fit her perfectly?
No, that's fine. I'm fine with that. No, that's fine. That's totally like the elves were up all night working. Why doesn't she either have a sword or a giant wrench?
Or like a bow and arrow or something.
No. I think she should. I really think she should have a giant wrench. Because that's like her thing. She should have a giant wrench to knock people out with. But
she just, all of a sudden, she's like, oh yeah, like, let's march. And at this point, I don't know exactly what Sugar Plum did, but I was like, yeah, I 100% don't trust this bitch. Like, she's up to something. Because she's like, oh no, I can't go with you. You have to go.
Oh yeah, I'm like scared or something.
Like,
or...
red flag.
Yeah.
Huge red flag.
Red flag.
That's a major red flag.
We get this scene with these doll clown things, which I actually kind of enjoy this part.
I kind of enjoy this part too.
I actually really like these little weird babushka...
They're like Russian nesting doll clowns.
Yeah, they're really cool and really funny.
But basically, yeah, she goes in the circus tent of Mother Ginger, and they're just, like, being all crazy. And she gets sent up a
pole to the control center.
And honestly, they could have, like, extended this scene. Like, I enjoyed this part, and it was very short.
Yeah.
And it kind of gave me a similar vibe to the Oz movie with, Veruca whatever.
I'm very much with you on that, yeah.
Where she's in the tower with Momsy. And I was like, oh yeah, they could have done this a little bit.
Well, and the other thing is Miss Ginger could have actually, like, really tried to convince her for real. Like,
right.
This is such a weak move where the quote-unquote villain doesn't explain in 100% terms why she's not the fucking villain. You could have just spit it out, bitch.
And they could have done it in a way where she didn't fully believe her for some reason.
Right, like, but she could have still spit it out and put that doubt, put that tingling in Clara's fucking mind.
Right. And they could have done the whole story, honestly. Just it could have been more effective and better.
Right. But instead, Clara, like, does some kind of thing that trips stuff up and steals the key.
Right.
And runs away with Philip, who's downstairs fighting with Clara.
Yeah. And he's like, Clara, help me, I'm helpless. And they run away, and then she's like, before they get out of the fourth realm, she's like, oh, yo, stop. I need to open this egg.
And then I'm going to throw a fucking fit.
It's empty!
It's just a music box!
Oh.
I'm a useless cunt!
She said whatever I needed would be inside all along. And I'm gonna go home.
I just did this and it did nothing. I'm useless. I'm going home. You take this key to the Sugar Plum Princess.
Yeah, she's kind of a baby. And then they go back to the castle and I'm like, oh, look.
No, wait. Philip gives her like a basically a pep talk to keep her going. He's like, hey, you have this confidence that kept me going. Oh, blah, 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 blah. You were the one that got me moving. And she's like, okay, I'll stop being a fucking bitch. Let's go.
I may not want to have sex with you.
No, okay. So that's the other undertone of the movie is that Clara totally wants to fuck Philip.
And Philip should have just gone with her at the end of the movie, but whatever.
I don't think that would have been smiled upon on the exit.
Or she just stayed there. So they go back to the castle, and then Sugar Plum immediately is like, oh great, thanks for the key, fuck you. And
I'm gonna make 10 soldiers that's gonna kill all y'all bitches.
And I was getting like Santa Claus, remember?
You know what? You're not wrong.
Was it Santa Claus 3?
Yeah, it's 3. And maybe this is where I probably should have taken off more points.
Because you know what? It's they try to do a lot, but it's cheap. Like
it is cheap and
everything
shitty.
Feels very cheap.
Yeah. And what's his name? You know what? The Martin Short character looks like the Frozen guy in this.
I'm just saying, it was a mishmash of a lot of things. I was getting like Lion the Witch in the Wardrobe, live action Beauty and the Beast, because Belle's like a tinkerer type of thing. I was getting, Santa Claus with this thing. Anyways.
I've already lowered my score from where I had it.
And so basically, Sugar Plum gives herself away very quickly and is like, okay, capture you, which I'm like, okay, here's where my problem is. A real villain would have just been like, okay, the machine works the other way. I'm just going to fucking zap you.
Right now and here.
Like, why would she imprison them?
It's some kind of thing of like where she still feels some loyalty to the queen.
It's dumb.
Shit. Yeah. It is. And so she also imprisons the other leaders. And for some reason, Philip, and for some reason, the 2 bozos that helped her.
All of the
Nutcracker-ish, like,
guard
guards.
people, yeah.
So, but I think if you wanted to throw a reason of why she didn't shrink them, she was on a full-on production scale. I need to produce as many toy soldiers as I can right now.
Ugh, whatever.
I'll shrink you bitches later. Shrink you later!
Okay, and then in jail, we get probably the worst moment of the entire movie where I go, Jesus fucking Christ. Clara looks again at the egg and flips over to, it's a mirror. It was you all along. You have it inside of yourself. Give me a fucking break.
Whoa.
No, there's no whoa.
No, there is a huge whoa. Because she throws a fucking huge tantrum again before this.
I guess I just blacked that out.
No. I couldn't. She throws a fucking mega unhinged tantrum about how she fucked everything up.
Oh yeah, because she's like, I wanted to go home and you made me stay here. Fuck you.
And then she flips the fucking thing over and is like, oh, it was me inside the whole time. No fucking self-awareness of what a cunt she is and how big of a fucking horrific Karen-level tantrum she just threw again for the second time in the movie.
Because then she runs over to the Nutcracker guy and she's like, oh, hey, I'm so sorry. Like,
and this is where the Dusselmeyer guy could have come in handy at either time when she's throwing a fucking tantrum of like, stop it. Wake up. Quit throwing a tantrum.
Well, but the whole thing of the you had it inside you the whole time trope
is a timeless trope.
Fucking stupid.
It's completely fucked out.
Doing it with a literal mirror.
All you had to do was like open this egg and like press. Like just take the small action of pressing.
It's a flippy mirror. You just flip it over.
Yeah. With this mechanically inclined broad. Like, she would have been poking and prodding it immediately when she opened it the first time.
It's so bad.
It's very bad.
The worst.
Yeah.
And then they just are able to just walk out on the roof. Like, they're not really imprisoned.
Well, the roof is so tall that they're not supposed to be able to get down.
Right, but she's able to use a rope and...
Well, with engineering and physics.
Oh, we're calling back to ice prison. It's just basic physics. You know what I'm talking about? on Ice Princess.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where she's like, I can improve your figure skating moves, just basic physics. Like, fuck off. You weren't learning
with
physics.
With her computer program.
You weren't learning physics at 1800s England. Shut up.
Yeah.
No.
Sir Isaac Newton says...
She's a lady. She wasn't learning basic physics. I'm sorry.
Her mom was teaching her basic.
In the 1800s, give me a fucking break. No. And, okay, so they descend using like a weight and the rope and they get down off of the thing.
Well, she does and then they do, yeah.
And then he follows and the mouse shows up. Mousecarinks, whatever. And she's like, go with him. And she says, be careful, Captain. That's an order.
I want to suck your dick later.
That's disgusting. This line is disgusting. That's an order. Be careful. That's an order. Oh, fuck off, Clara.
So she goes and climbs the little paddly-wad thing, and he goes to Miss Ginger.
To Mother Ginger, and it's clear what they're doing. Like, they're gonna make her giant mechanical thing fake out the Sugar Plum lady in the army while she's really getting into the castle with Clara, because they're going to...
stop the machine.
But it wasn't really clear what their plan was.
Oh, no, I knew they were going to stop the machine, because obviously you have to do that first.
Right, but then Sugar Plum comes back, and she's able to, like, change the machine so it points at Sugar Plum.
Yeah, she's able to figure out from the little gyro.
Okay, but if Sugar Plum never came back, what was their plan? That's what I didn't understand.
To stop the machine?
From making more soldiers? Okay, great. There's already like 10 million of them.
Well, yeah, but they're pretty basic. They're pretty easy to defeat.
It was a little weird. Like, the whole sequence was...
I mean, because Miss Ginger with her whip alone could knock out most of them.
Okay, Miss Ginger and her whip are fucking stupid.
I will not disagree with you there. Eventually, yeah, Sugar Plum is turned into a doll.
And Clara's a hero. And everyone loves her.
The Tin Army falls. Philip's not killed at the last inch of a second.
Which, okay.
Might have been better if he would have died.
It probably would have been better.
And she has, like, this big, long thing with him at the end.
And I'm like, why didn't you kiss her?
She's
like, it would...
It never happens.
No. Why didn't they kiss at the end? I don't understand. Because he's like, she's like, maybe you can come visit me.
Wait, and
maybe
why at the end
back.
was he wearing all that red makeup on his nose and cheeks?
Oh, that was there since the beginning.
No, but it was, like, heavy here.
I mean, it just...
It was weird. It was very weird.
Okay, so she goes back to the real world, right?
And she runs into Dusselmeyer first.
Okay. Your mother told me her greatest creation was you.
You were her favorite.
For fuck your sister.
And your brother.
And your brother. Okay.
And then she goes to her dad, and this is where you get the huge, you are my child bride.
I'll dance with you, Daddy.
Yeah.
And then Fritz and the other chick, Louise, or whatever,
show up. I didn't even know that was her name, but whatever.
I think it's like Louise or something.
Weezy?
But why would you name your kid Fritz? What kind of a fucking name is that?
It's a great name.
Fritz? He's on the Fritz.
Hey.
No, but it's just, and it was supposed to be sweet, and this whole thing, and it was just, that's the end of the movie, is her and her dad dancing. And then somehow it cuts back to the party and they're dancing. Like, I don't understand that. Is that supposed to be like next year? You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't make sense. I was like, why are they all of a sudden dancing at the party?
I'll give you everything.
Yeah.
You just can't leave your room. All right. So, what? You got any awards, Ms. Cat?
I have a couple. Okay. One that I invented, and I think we're in agreement, the Kieraknightley Bizarre Casting Choice Award.
Okay, so it's not completely mutual, although I should have thought of that. I just gave her a different award. I did the Helen Mirren as a legend does a terrible job award.
Oh, yeah, that's
Ginger.
good. That's really good.
Yeah.
Because I was like, who the fuck is this? And this is horrible.
Yeah, exactly. It was terrible. I was like, that was... Who? What?
Because I'm like...
I thought you were supposed to be able to act.
This is somebody famous. I know it's somebody famous.
Yeah.
But who is this? Oh my god, it's horrible.
Yeah.
And I will say the material she was given was pretty bad. So,
but that actually shouldn't matter because Morgan Freeman did a good job.
Morgan Freeman did a good job. What else you got?
Okay, so obviously I have the Ray Liotta Award for Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
because why was he here? What was he doing in this movie? And he almost could have gotten the saves this movie, but there's no saving this movie.
No, there's no saving it. It's bad because you know why? Because it's got the Treasure Planet All Steak and No Sizzle Award.
Ooh, that's a good one. I wish I'd have thought about that.
Because I can see what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
And it makes me kind of like, okay, yeah, I get it. You were... And I get it. Like, you were trying to do this kind of Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, but Nutcracker...
It definitely could have been good.
It could have had a lot of potential. It really could have.
And I don't even think you really have to change the script that much. I just think you got to get... I won't even say better actors, just more appropriate actors, and just kind of shift a little bit of the narrative and a little bit of the things, and you've got it had the makings of a good movie. It just couldn't put it together.
Yeah, because it has the, I'll say the cookie clutter plot award, because everything was so telegraphed. Oh, now we're going to have this. The
Paint by Numbers award.
Yeah, Paint by Numbers award. That's a good one. It's honestly just, that was my biggest problem.
My only other one is I had the Lumpy award for Sugar Plum because I fucking hated her character.
That's pretty bad.
It was pretty goddamn bad. I hated her the second she was on the screen until the second she left the fucking screen. I was like, this bitch is terrible.
And it could have been better.
And she was just as annoying as Lumpy.
Yeah, they were similar color scheme and everything. The last one I had was the barrier part of the band Cheeseball Line award goes to, from Morgan Freeman, her greatest invention was you.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Even though we praised Morgan Freeman, that line is terrible.
No, her greatest invention was you. Like, okay, fuck off. So do you have a biggest surprise or disappointment?
I had no expectations coming to this, so I have no surprises. I just didn't even know what to think, so...
Why was this made? Because this was what, 2018?
Yeah.
Who was the audience for this movie?
That's actually a really fair question.
Like, I don't understand what the deal was with this movie.
Because clearly with the casting, they were trying to make it woke-ish. But it just didn't work.
It was just bad.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
I don't understand, like, what the thought process, and maybe they were thinking this was going to be a series. I don't know.
Well, it should have been a series.
Should have been her mom.
It should have started with her mom.
Your mom.
Wow. Man, Disney, you guys got to put us on the payroll.
I mean, really.
Because I would have seen this and said, oh, okay, good, this is the sequel. Go ahead and make the first one with her mom, and then we'll get back to this.
And, like, her mom and Sugar Plum are best friends, and, like, you're really establishing that Sugar Plum is a good person.
And then it totally shattered Sugar Plum when she left.
You could do, a whole, everybody hurts, like, montage with Sugar Plum.
Oh, and why was there no good music, or no singing? No musical singing.
There's no singing at all.
They could have added words to the do-do-do-do-do. Something, yeah. And the remake, I think we've discussed enough about how much this is the sequel, and if we got any final thoughts?
I would just say if you're looking for this kind of like live action fantasy vibe, just watch like Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. It's way better.
Yeah. I would just say don't look for this movie. Obviously watch it because we watched it and we want to know what you think, but...
It's just not very good.
Yeah, it's passably bad. Alright, did you get a budget for this film?
I did. It's $120 million.
No way.
And they made basically $174 million.
Ooh.
So, considering all of the advertising costs, they probably didn't really make much money on this.
Did they advertise this movie? I never heard of it.
I remember it being advertised a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. So, what do you think the Rotten Tomatoes score for this movie is?
With the critics, I'm going to guess like a 60%.
Oh, no.
I don't know. I just figured it had like that Beauty and the Beast live action edge to it.
Oh my god, no. The critic score is 32. The people's score is 34. This is not a well-received, well-liked, or good movie. And so, Kat, what is
Okay, and let me explain my score really quick. So, I gave this a 25%, 2.5 out of 10, as seen on TV inventions, because I feel like every fucking invention in this movie was one of those things, like, a cool gadget for something you don't really need. Like at the beginning of the party, when it's like the coat thing, it's like taking the coats back. Oh, how do we get them back? It's like this weird thing. We're inventing a gadget for a problem you don't really have.
Go gadget that thing.
And they're like inventing a plot.
They were inventing like a lot of mechanical weirdness.
That's what I'm saying. 2.5 out of 10 as seen on TV inventions.
I give it an 18. I did not like this movie.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
It's not very good. You're not wrong. It's unfortunate because I could see what they were trying to do, but it's just most of the movie I had a lot of eye rolls. Like, what are you doing? Oh, I can see what you're trying to do, but you need to do it better. And I really did try to go into this with an open mind, unlike you, who went into this with I fucking hate the Nutcracker.
Well, I went into this knowing that it was going to be stupid.
And there's nothing really about the Nutcracker. Like, that was what was most annoying. Is like, this isn't about the Nutcracker. At all. In any way. It bears no resemblance to the Nutcracker story.
Well, okay, so what is the Nutcracker story?
The Nutcracker...
That actually should be an important part of this.
The Nutcracker story is that Clara is at a Christmas Eve thing, and she gets the Nutcracker, and she gets sucked into this whole world, and then she has to dance with... The Mouse King is evil. That's the whole thing, is the Mouse King is evil.
Wait, there's a Mouse King?
Yes, and he's evil, and she had... Like, it's this whole thing. And it's like... This is not the Nutcracker. And I could see what they were trying to do, but it was not... No. It just doesn't work. Yeah, there's a Mouse King.
So is that like what the ginger character is supposed to be at first?
Yes, but it's a literal mouse.
I don't get it.
They were trying to twist it on its head, and it just didn't do well.
Alright, now it's time for Kat's favorite part of the podcast.
Woo! Thank God. Let's get something else.
Something else. This time we get number 212. What? Do you know what it is?
Is it Hercules? I think it's Hercules.
It is Hercules. Kat did it.
Yes!
Got it.
Everybody, take a big cheer. Yes!
Wow.
Okay, shut the front door.
Wow.
Okay, I just want to say...
Hercules.
I've been waiting for this moment for a
What
long
if I
time.
hate this movie?
I don't give a fuck. I love this movie.
Because I remember when we got... What was the first, like, legendary... The David Spade one.
Emperor's New Groove.
You were like, oh, if you don't like this... And I'm like, what?
But here's the thing. I don't care if you like this. I know that I love it.
Okay.
And, like, we might have to watch it tomorrow.
I'm excited that it has James Woods.
Is this really happening? Are you serious? Is that real? Oh my god. I'm gonna freak out.
Okay.
No, you don't
Permission
understand.
to freak out.
You don't understand. Like, the soundtrack of this movie is amazing. The animation is really, like, different and awesome. And, like, James Woods is the best. Okay, everybody, brace yourselves. It's Hercules. We've been talking about this forever. I can't fucking wait. I'm dying. I'm literally, like, on the edge of my seat right now. Oh my god.
Oh, so...
Over the gladiator, Hercules, Hercules.
Like, subscribe, blah, 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 blah.
I'm sorry.
Send us an email, disneyaunpod@gmail.com. Give us 5 stars. I'm just going to do Cat's part this week.
Just tune in to Hercules next week because it's the best. And you know it. If you know, you know. You know all about it. And Dee doesn't know because he's never seen it. And I want to die right now. I'm literally like bubbling over. A pot that's on a stove bubbling over right now.
Oh my god. So in the meantime, this has been Disney On Pod. I'm Dee.
I'm Kat. Bye! Good job, Dave.
You know, typically, when it comes to engineering something like this,
I'm the best.
I'm pretty good at it.
You are pretty good. This is great.
Like, when it comes time to, like, oh, well, what's a good solution for blah, blah, blah? I'm like, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. It's kind of my thing.
Put it in like a what are those things that you put like DNA tests in?
The centrifuge.
Yeah, thank you, centrifuge. You can like put it.
And it's pretty much what I'm going to do. I'm going to like hang it on a line and beat it or something because you're not really supposed to wash. I mean, you can kind of wash these blankets, but not really.
Can you put your headphones on so I can? Why are you not supposed to wash them?
They're wool.
Maybe.
And if you do wash them, you have to like wash them on low and air dry them and not put them in the water dryer and shit like that. Like,
sounds like a pain in the ass.
Well, they kind of are. That's why they're not more popular. Papali. But they'll also keep you warm if they're wet.
Yeah. Okay, Luke, buddy. This is what I was afraid of. I didn't take that many notes on this one.
Yeah, I didn't either. It was not
one page.
Simp.
What?
It wasn't an easy note taker. God, I still got kind of a... I shouldn't have taken a drink of that thing. I knew I shouldn't have. Because it made my throat a little...
Well, take a drink of something else then.
Yeah, no, I know. I should have brought some water down here.
There might be some in the water bottle.
Yeah, I don't want to drink like 3-month-old water bottle water.
I mean, just live dangerously. No. It's fine.
Let's see. I guess I'll just drink whiskey instead.
Oh.
What?
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Okay.
It'll all be explained shortly.
AK-47. Ooh, that like tickled my lips.
I know the feeling you're talking about.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull my shit up.
Okay.
How you doing? Your voice is ready? You got your snaps? Somebody's popping their peas with a bunch of punch.
Well, it's like the flavor of the Kahlua mixed with a little bit of almond extract is what I'm tasting.
I think you should have blended the cinnamon in there more, or was that nutmeg?
Both.
Yeah, you gotta like. You should have put that in the shaker.
Yeah, probably.
Because then it would get lost. And
I didn't use a recipe though. I just kind of made it up.
Yeah, no, I know, but that's my only note for what you should have written because it's good.
I'm a mixologist.
But that's my note is that those should have been in the mixer. Okay.